The windshield wipers swish across the glass as rain pelts down in sheets. The driver, mid-30s, is driving along a deserted road, his face tense. Lightning flashes in the distance. Great night to be out, huh? He squints through the rain when he sees a figure ahead on the side of the road, soaked, arm outstretched, thumbing for a ride. Can't just leave them out here. He pulls the car to a stop next to the figure. A young woman, early 20s, drenched in rain, her hair sticking to her face. She looks desperate, cold. Need a ride? Softly, almost too quiet over the rain. Yes, please, it's so cold. The driver reaches over and unlocks the passenger door. The woman slips inside, closing the door behind her. Where you headed? Just up ahead, by the old church. The driver furrows his brow. The old church is miles away and abandoned, but he doesn't question it. He pulls the car back onto the road. You're lucky I came by. This road's not too busy at night. Yes, very lucky. Her voice has a distant, eerie quality. Lightning flashes again, illuminating her pale face for a split second. The driver shivers, glancing over at her. She seems calm, almost too calm. The car drives through the downpour, headlights cutting through the darkness. The storm grows more violent, with thunder booming overhead. In car, the silence between them is heavy. The driver tries to break the tension. So, where were you coming from? The woman stares straight ahead, her voice emotionless. I've been waiting for a long time. Waiting? Out here? In this weather? She turns her head slowly to face him. Her eyes are hollow, dark. Not just tonight. I've been waiting for years. The driver's grip on the steering wheel tightens. He forces a chuckle, trying to mask his unease. Years? That's quite a wait. The woman's lips curl into a faint, unsettling smile. It's been longer than you think. The car passes by a dark, twisted forest. The trees seem to close in as the road narrows. The driver glances at her again, feeling the temperature in the car drop. His breath fogs the windshield slightly. Are you feeling all right? The woman's smile fades, her face blank. I'm cold. So cold. I've been cold for so long. The driver's eyes dart nervously from the road to her. He notices her clothes, soaked through, but they're old-fashioned, not modern at all. You sure you're okay? You look like I've been dead? The driver's heart skips a beat. He stares at her, his mouth dry. Driver, what did you say? She turns fully towards him now, her skin pale as moonlight, her eyes dark pools. Woman, I died on this road, years ago, but I still need to get home. The car approaches a sharp bend, the headlights illuminating a crumbling church in the distance. Night. The driver's pulse races. He glances at the church ahead, then back at the woman. She's staring at him now, her face inches from his. Woman, will you take me home? What do you want? She leans in closer, her cold breath frosting the air between them. Woman, to remember what you did. The driver's eyes widen in horror as memories flood back. Years ago, a stormy night just like this, he hit someone with his car. A woman, this woman. Driver, no, I didn't mean to. You left me there, alone, in the cold. Her voice turns icy, full of sorrow and rage. I've been waiting for you. The driver's breathing becomes erratic. He slams on the brakes. XT Road, night. The car skids to a halt just outside the old church. The driver stumbles out, drenched in rain. He looks around, panicked. Car, night. The passenger seat is empty. The woman is gone. Church, night. The driver looks up at the church, its rotting doors hanging on their hinges. His heart pounds as he steps closer, feeling a pull towards the darkened entrance. Come inside. Finish what you started. He freezes, hearing her voice echo from the church. Slowly, he turns and walks towards the open door. Church, night. The driver enters, his footsteps echoing in the empty, decaying space. Lightning flashes through the shattered windows. At the altar, the woman stands, her back to him. Do you remember now? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to leave you. She turns, her face now ghastly, skeletal, a ghostly apparition. But you did. And now, you'll stay. The church doors slam shut behind him. The storm rages on outside, but inside, all is still as the woman's icy hand reaches out for the driver. The driver backs away from the woman's skeletal figure, stumbling over broken pews, Her eyes burn into him, accusing. "Driver, I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do." "Woman, you knew. You left me to die." The driver shakes his head violently, gripping his hair, trying to shut out her voice. His heart pounds in his chest. "Driver, it was an accident. I was scared. I didn't think anyone would believe me." The woman steps closer, her ghostly figure growing darker, more menacing. "Woman, now you'll know what it feels like to be scared, to be alone, forever." The church walls begin to creak and groan. The driver whips his head around as shadows twist and stretch across the floor, closing in on him. "Driver, no, no, please don't." Scene 9, The Spirit's Revenge. Inti Church Night. The driver bolts for the doors, trying to escape. His hands grip the heavy wooden handles, but they won't budge. He pulls, harder and harder, but it's as if something is holding them shut. "Driver, let me out!" A gust of icy wind sweeps through the church, and the woman's voice booms through the space, filling every corner. "Woman, you didn't let me out, did you?" Suddenly, the doors fly open with a bang, and the driver stumbles backward. The force of the wind pushes him toward the altar, where the woman now stands, her arms outstretched. "You owe me a life." The driver falls to his knees, terror written on his face. He clasps his hands together, pleading. "Driver, I'll do anything. Just don't take me." The woman's face softens for a moment, her ghostly form flickering between her skeletal appearance and her younger human self. "Woman, anything? Will you confess?" "Driver, yes. Yes, I'll tell them. I'll make it right." The woman approaches the driver, her hollow eyes filled with sorrow. "Woman, you must tell them the truth. Admit what you did, or you will never leave this place." The driver nods frantically. "Driver, I will. I swear it. I'll go to the police. I'll tell them everything." The woman studies him for a long moment, her voice quiet now, almost sad. "Woman, you say that now, but will you keep your word when the night is over?" The driver opens his mouth to answer, but before he can speak, the church begins to shudder violently. The floorboards crack and split, revealing darkness beneath. "What's happening?" The woman's voice becomes distant as she fades into the shadows. "Woman, your time is running out." The driver scrambles to his feet, but the ground beneath him gives way. He falls, tumbling into the darkness below. His screams echo as the world around him turns into a swirling void of shadows. Suddenly, he lands hard on solid ground. Gasping for breath, he finds himself in a warped version of the road where he picked up the hitchhiker. Everything looks distorted, trees twisted, the sky a sickly shade of gray. "Driver, where? Where am I?" A chilling voice echoes through the air. "You are where you left me." The driver turns around to see the woman standing by the side of the road, just like when he first found her. But this time, there's no rain, no storm, just silence. The driver takes a shaky step toward the woman, his face full of remorse. "Driver, I'll confess. I swear I'll confess. Just let me go back." The woman doesn't move, her eyes cold. "Woman, you had your chance that night. You didn't just leave me. You left me to die in the dark. And now, you must face judgment." The air around the driver grows heavy, the shadows pressing in on him. He falls to his knees again, shaking. "Driver, please. I'm sorry. I'll do anything." The ground beneath him begins to crack open, the darkness below threatening to swallow him whole. "Your life or the truth?" "The truth. I'll tell the truth." The woman's expression remains impassive, as if she's heard this before. The driver looks around in desperation as the void continues to pull him in. The driver clings to the crumbling ground as the void beneath him widens. "Woman, tell the truth now, or live forever in the darkness." The driver's face is streaked with tears. He looks up at the woman, his voice broken. "Driver, I killed you. I left you on the road, and I ran away. I was a coward, and I never told anyone." The ground stops shifting, the darkness around him stills. "Woman, and now you are free." The woman's face softens once more, her ghostly form beginning to dissolve. As she fades away, she whispers, "Woman, rest in peace for both of us." The driver closes his eyes as the void disappears and the world slowly returns to normal. He is lying in the middle of the road, alone, drenched in sweat.